Well, y'all, I thought I'd come in here and check my other strawberries and see how they were doing and see if they needed to be moved. And they certainly need something. So here was my strawberry patch out here until, let's see, it was all the way down here. Um, a little bit more here. Ouch. A little bit more here. But this is my jungle. This is where I had to move all the trees that I had in my backyard when I first moved here because I had planted them over the septic tank apparently, or the entire septic system actually. So I had to move them all out here. And they are for the most part pears, peaches, nectarines, jujubes, those types of things. Very first trees that I purchased actually. And then this happened over here. This is a worn pear, one of two trees that the deer got to and rubbed their antlers on and killed it. But thankfully, it's grafted way down here. So now I'm waiting for these little things to grow back again, which is why I had to resort to this electric fence. Now, the problem with electric fences is this jungle. I have a riding mower, and this year I purchased a push mower. And I'm gonna tell you, transitioning from a riding mower to a push mower to cut this stuff is no fun. Even though it's self-propelled, it's just, if I can do anything else, this doesn't get done. So this really needs to be done now. This is some curly spearmint there and there. Actually, in the middle, I had stuff. I had the strawberries, curly spearmint, some comfrey, but all the outside edges of this was grass, and I could just cut straight down and come back up till this stinking deer disrupted my flow. So while I'm out here, I was checking to make sure none of the original labels were still on these trees, were too tight, and I was loosening them up. And then I thought about it. I haven't done a video on my apple trees, but look at this monster. That is the first pear I ever planted, the very first one. And I have never, ever, 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 ever gotten a single pear off of it. For 2 years straight, this is a pineapple pear. For 2 years straight, I planted it in February 22. I have cut that center piece down to about right here. And the thing keeps growing back like that. So I have decided that this year, I'm not cutting it anymore. I took these branches here because they were straight up, and I put water bottles on them to kind of stretch them down. And I think it did pretty good as far as opening up the tree some. But it is determined to just reach to the sky. And I'm gonna leave it. So 2022, this is the third year for this thing to have been in the ground. And not one single pear yet. And these are the trees that I baby, actually. Everything else over here gave me something, I do believe, this year. Oh yeah, I think except for that stinking methley, I think it, well, I can't remember. Anyway, and the pears, because they're new. This is another pear tree over here. I'm waiting for that to do what that one did and shade out my plum tree there. All right, y'all, let's get back to the reason I was making this video in the first place. So here is an apple tree. This apple tree, I think it's a Fuji. This apple tree was shipped to me. Yeah, it's a Fuji. And I got it in April of 23. It was shipped to me as a mistake. This one, it also came with that persimmon, which was a Tanahashi persimmon, which turned out not to be Tanahashi. So I guess that was a blessing because I don't like the astringent persimmons. And I got one more persimmon with it, and I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, I had used up all the space that I had designated for my apple tree, so I put this one out here. And then since this one was out here, you know, can't leave it out here by itself. So then I bought another one, and I put it here. And this is the yellow transparent apple, and I planted that in February of 24. So those two apples are out here with, which was supposed to have been just peaches and pears and nectarines, my stone fruit, but I end up not pears. Yeah, and pears, peaches, pears, and my stone fruit and my jujube, one jujube, but it has since expanded. But I really am going to get out here and cut this grass maybe tomorrow. I think this might be another pear tree here. I'm telling y'all, I kept buying stuff, and actually, yeah, that's the Migitsu pear. And I have another pear that I'm going to pick up. Look at that spider web in there. I have another pear tree that I'm going to pick up in a couple of weeks from a nursery here that has open house every year, just in case that one pear up there doesn't make it. So now I'm gonna leave the jungle. Oh, let's update this. Remember this tree that had all that oozing sap coming out of it? That's all that's left of it. And I guess I can spray it again. So now I was down here digging everything out of this tree, digging all that crap. Let's see what this side looks like. Much improvement. Still has some healing to do, but it's not as bad as it was. I mean, it was oozing and dripping, and I dug in there and scrubbed and all that good stuff. Y'all should look for that video. It's a really gross video. All right, let me get out of the jungle and go take y'all where the other apple trees are at. Okay, so this little Charlie Brown stick here that needs to be sprayed, look at that, came from a rocket apple seed, and I actually had 3 of them. And I think really this is in too much shade. So when did I plant this thing? I'm really gonna have to update my labels or figure out a way to read these better. Looks like 2023. Yeah, summer 2023 is when I started this tree from apples. I mean from a seed, from a rocket apple. It needs to be sprayed. Then over here is the second one. Now here's the ironic thing. The very last tree I'm gonna show you is gonna be the 3rd rocket apple. And it's in shade. These two, for the most part, get sun. Particularly this one, but look how small these are. This will start the same time as the other one. You see it has that white stuff on it as well. But it's doing better than the other ones. I think the other one's just getting a little bit too much shade down there from that one tree. Okay, I have pecans and almonds back here too, and a pawpaw, but I'll cover those another day. Today is apple day. So here is my Rubaiyat apple. It is a red fleshed apple, and I got this one, or at least I planted it April of 2024. And so if I planted it around that time, that's about the time I would have received it too. So that's a Rubaiyat. That is one of the red flesh varieties. That's supposed to be red on the inside as well as red on the outside. Those are my cherries. Let's see, that's a cherry. Okay, here we go. So here's another apple. I think this is the Arkansas Black. Yep, Arkansas Black. I planted that in November 23, and it is really tall. And I have to see if It is a tip bear or a spur bear because I really need to take some of those tips down so that it'll branch out to the side some more. I did it in the central leader fashion when I pruned it, kind of just playing around with it. And then over here we have another Fuji, which just happened to be my favorite apple. And it was planted in August of 2022. And you see it's pretty big as well. None of these apples have fruited for me yet. Hoping next year is my year for apples. And I think this is the Joseph. Let's see. Yes, this is the Joseph. It was also planted in November of 2022. And it's fairly tall as well. I'm waiting for them to finish dropping their leaves. But I think I'm going to spray before they even drop all their leaves because they dropped them really late last year. This is another casualty of the deer. This is a, was it the summer banana? Yeah, this is the summer banana apple. And, ouch. Let's see. This was planted in November 22 as well. Y'all see I went on an apple spree in November of 22. But you can see how far, here, how far the deer took that tree down. And thankfully, it was grafted high. And so I had to email the seller and send him a picture, and he told me that is still the summer banana growing, thankfully. I'm ready to kill those deer. Okay, here, and I know this tree gets too much shade because of these things right here, but those are tulip poplars, and the bees make lots of good honey from that. So cost and because of the bees, they won't be coming down. I should have really planted this somewhere better, but it seems to be doing better now. Something likes the leaves on this one. And this is the Hokuto, and it was planted November of 22 as well. It's not as tall as the others, as you can see, but all planted about the same time. And then of course that one's not as tall because the stinking deer got to it. Okay, let's see. I think I have just two more. So this one I cannot pronounce, but I'm gonna do my best. It's an apple from France. It's doing pretty well. And again, I have not gotten fruit from it. This is called the Caville Blanc d'Iver, and it was planted February of 2024. And I know I'm not pronouncing that right. Put some French on it and you'll know what it says. But that is that apple. And now I'm going to show you the apple over here in the woods. And I'm going to pause you until I get there. Okay. So, you see all these trees everywhere. But look how well this apple, you can't see it. Look how well this apple is doing over here. And it goes all the way up there. This is the third seed that came from the rocket apple. And you see it doesn't have any of the white stuff that the other trees have on it. And it seems to like the shade. So maybe those apples are not grown in full sun. I don't know, because there's one in the shade down there that's not doing nearly as well as that one. But anyway, this is the, trying to get it, there we go. The rocket apple that's grown from, well, it's not going to be a rocket apple, but it came from the rocket apple. It's a seed from there. And I planted this the same time as I did the other two, and I don't see the label for this one, but it would have been the same time. All right, guys, now I'm going to show you something. Uh-oh, look at this. My little goji berries are trying to goji, finally. I got, I think, 4 last year. But to be fair, I don't do anything to this tree. I planted that in 2023. Looks like June of 2023. Now look, I got some little gojies. And actually, people say these are nasty, but I find if you leave them on there longer, they're really good berries. They don't have that poison-like taste if you just don't pick them until much later. But that's not what I wanted to show you. I'm going to show you this citrus tree over here that has the flowers on it. Because I want to show y'all. It looks like it has a little teeny orange on it, but it looks like it's sectioned. And I don't know if that's how these things are supposed to grow or if something else is going on with this plant. Also, I moved the mulch back, y'all. I think I had about 12 inches of mulch piled up around there. And that's what I was noticing too. I think these leaves started turning yellow when I put this cedar mulch on it. And I jokingly said in one of my videos, I hope it wasn't the cedar, but I think I just had the mulch too high. But look at this. This is what I saw when I came over here to move the mulch back and fertilize. Is that the way this Thomasville is supposed to grow? Or do I have something else going on? Anybody know? I don't know. But anyway, I thought that was kind of odd that it looks like that. I don't see any more. Oh, look. Yes, I do. Wait a minute. Let's see what this is. Oh, okay. I think that might be the flower. Because it looks like that one is opening up. Okay, disregard my question. That must be the flower. How cool is that? That is so cool, y'all. Now I hope they all stay on there because I have a lot. Let's see, there's about 1, 2, I have a lot. Now I just have to get them through the winter. All right, y'all, I'm not going to ramble this video, but I just wanted to show y'all that real quick and tell you what I did to try to get some color back into these citrus trees. I fertilized all of them, gave them some fish emulsion and some other stuff, and the citrus fertilizer. So I put 3 different types of things, 3 different fertilizers on them, or amendments on them, I should say. And I'm hoping that that turns my citrus trees around. All right, that's it, because this was supposed to be about apples, and I ventured off into citrus. But before I really close, look at this. I saw this when I was over here. Remember those seeds I threw out? Look how tall that thing is. I don't know what they are, but they all have different leaves. And so, look at these. These are shaped like a heart. I hope they make it through the winter. I really do. I might come over here and rake some more leaves over top of them when it really gets cold so they can survive. Mad scientist with citrus. All right, guys, I'm out for real.